भूत्वा दीनगणेशकरुकरुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितौ तत्त्वा तु नमसे समण्डलपतिशनिं सदा तुच्छवत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकरुकरुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितौ गोपी भावरसामृताभिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नोन्मुहो वन्दे रूपसनातनरघुजगं श्रीजीवगोपालकौ कृष्णकीर्तनकाननतनपरौ
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Hare Krishna, glories to Srila Prabhupada. I guess we're starting. Thank you, everyone, for coming this morning to the Bhagavad Gita as it is, reading and discussion from the original unedited version of the Bhagavad Gita that Prabhupada authorized and we are studying from to avoid hypocrisy. Because hypocrisy is all pervasive in the Kali Yuga. It's one of the keynote references to the Kali Yuga, the iron age of quarrel and hypocrisy, misinformation. And where people are saying one thing, but they're doing another. That's what they're doing. They're saying, well, for example, a lot of people are projecting themselves as self-realized. Oh, I'm self-realized. I'm so advanced. And if you get disciples, like in the case of some of our God brothers, and I'm hearing them speak all the time, like their authority. Oh, I'm in the spiritual realm explaining Krishna to others. I am doing it because I'm advanced. Well, when you analyze their speech, Vijaya Pandit, you see they're not advanced. They're faking it. But only an astute person can understand that, who understands what it means to be in this material world and who they are. And Rochisha Devidasi, the point that I'm making is we're insignificant. We are very insignificant. But all of a sudden, some fellow thinks he's a big shot, a guru. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because we're insignificant. And think about it. How many people live on this planet, Vijaya Pandit? How many? 8 billion. Is that a lot? 8, 9, whatever. That's say, use the number 8 billion. How significant is one person? Insignificant. And that's just in calculating his position or her position in this world of names. World of names. You have a name, you have a birth. You're insignificant, but you think, oh, I'm important. Oh, yeah, I'm smart. You get money, you really think you're important. I got money, I can pay my bills. This is an illusion we're in. And forget about that, Vijaya Pandit. It's not the 8 billion people, humans that are on this earth. How many planets are in this universe? Huh? Billions. It's inconceivable to understand the position of God from the material platform that we're on. All we can do is bow down humbly and try somehow or other to understand who we are in this whole scheme of things. That's all you can do. And be thankful that we've come into contact with a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. And he's living with us in sound, Vani incarnation. This is a principle that we present. These people get up, they start speaking, Krishna's this and the incarnations are that, and all this kind of mental concoction. It's pathetic. And when you analyze it, you go, bro, you are completely deluded, but you're misleading people. Listen to this one, Yashoda, Nandana Prabhu. So I was, how you, on your feeds, the social media is very interesting because it gives us information about what's going on. It's like the news. Instead of the newspaper, you turn on social media and you get the latest information broadcast instantaneously. So Shivaram, I'm going to mention his name because it was so insidious what I saw, what he was doing. It just, I can't help myself. I don't care. I don't care. He gets on and he makes this speech this morning. He goes, by the way, he quotes Prabhupada. He says, Prabhupada said, don't get telex because it promotes gossip. So he uses that as an example of some kind of message that Prabhupada was giving us. So he takes that and reinterprets it to mean, be careful when you go online. Don't read the things that are online because it is misinformation, one, and two, it's gossip. Now, his followers, because he's a guru or thinks he's some kind of guru, are going to listen to him and go, yeah, okay, I don't want to listen to this because even though it's truth, you shouldn't hear it, it's gossip. Hypocrisy. Right in front of our eyes. Hypocrisy, lies. Because there is truth in the matter of information. There can be. You have to discriminate. You have to hear. But to just conclude this one thing, that it's gossip. It's all gossip. That's what Ronald did in terms of his connection with the murder of Sulochan. He told his disciples, oh, don't go online and read this because it's not true, it's gossip. And that's all I'm going to say. Hypocrisy. We're going to go ahead with our first section of the program, which is the Prabhupada Shotram. And Yashoda Prabhu, he chants this for us because Prabhupada instructed him to do this. So let's go for that. Haribo.
Srila Prabhupada Stotram. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Krishna Kacheta Madamoha Vinachakarin Madrishti Gochara Prabhupada Swamin Dosha Vivritti Paridushita Manda Buddhe Sanchintayami Charano Tava Bhakti Etu Vrindavane Ramanareti Prasiddha Bhumau Tatrapi Krishna Balarama Supada Mule Jnanam param parama Krishna sudharma ityuktam Dantastu deva Prabhupada namo namaste 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 kripa purna drishti Namaste namaste mahananda dhatri Namamu namama punaraksha raksha Prasiddha Prabhupahimam daksha daksha Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Vanga Bhumijana Bhushana Ghora Leela Ghoranga Bhava Parisharana Matra Shila Radha Mukunda Pada Padma Manovilasin Anandarasi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Anandarasi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That's a wonderful prayer. Prayers, the translations. I'm trying to read them quickly while we go through to get a proper understanding of the mood of the disciple in front of his spiritual master, not think that he has become guru, but he is the servant. Prabhupada told me that, Mother Rochisha, when I got my initiation. Think about it, it's just one sentence back in 1971 in July that stuck with me my whole life. Because when Prabhupada announced the name for me back then, I didn't know what it meant. I'd never heard of Vishwakarma. Remember, we had no books, Vijaya Pandit, no books. We had a few books, but we had no books. So, and I wasn't aware of the history of Vedic philosophy. I didn't know. All I knew was that Prabhupada had presented the Bhagavad Gita in that blue Macmillan book. That's what we had. And we had some BTGs back then. And we had the Delhi Bhagavatams, which we are distributing now for everyone globally. So that's all we had. But Prabhupada looked at me, he says, oh, but you should not think you're the chief engineer. No. But you should think that you are the servant of the servant of the servant of the chief engineer. And in this way, you'll become great. So the principle is this, that the more we take a humble position in front of our guru and in front of Krishna, and we render service, then we'll become significant, even though, Vijaya Pandit, we're insignificant. Look at this body, after all. Blood, pus, stool, urine. Oh, here you go, Vishwa. But it's a fact. There it is. And we have to deal with it every day. And above the body is the mind. The mind is so disturbed, always disturbed by the circumstances. And there are many things that can disturb your mind. For example, your friends, so-called friends. They can send you an email, I think you're a blasphemer. And we get that. We've had friends that turn around and blast us. You're fallen. You used to be this or that. Look what you did 45 years ago. You're a bad person. You're a hypocrite. Oh yeah, well, so-called friends do that. But they're not your friend. There's all kinds of, you could have problems with your children, with the kids. Oh, my kids are this and that. That's what goes on in life. So many troubles are going on to attack us. And the mind is disturbed, very disturbed. And of all the senses, the mind is the center point. You think about it, eh? The eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the mouth, the different gates of the city of 9 gates are there. But inside is the mind, the subtle body. We didn't even know about the subtle body until Prabhupada introduced it to us. Mind, intelligence, ego, soul, and super soul. That's a whole other look at knowledge beyond the mundane teachings of Christianity and these other spiritual groups that try to say they know about God and they don't have any idea about the subtle body. This is Kali Yuga. We're living in a world of mass hypocrisy and confusion, and that's what this is. And it's hypocritical on every level. It's not just one area. Look at in medicine, how much hypocrisy was propagated by motivated mundaners interested only in money to sell vaccines. And nowadays it's bombarded. We're bombarded with the truth of the matter, that it was all deception by the government leaders, by the business people, by the media. So much information is coming to us. This is the information age, really. And like my friend Steve from Montreal said, oh, don't go online and hear this information. It's gossip, especially about the gurus. It's all gossip. It's not true. We're pure devotees. So we're going to go forward with this section, our new section. You know, Yashodanandana Prabhu, I thought, Mother Shrestha Rupa asked a very interesting question about Prabhupada's daily life the other day, last week. And I thought, Now she's becoming involved with our mission in the last 3 or 4 months. We've read the diaries in the past, but she's not been exposed to them, or a lot of new people that are coming to the broadcast, they're not exposed to this. They don't know. So, and then Rupa Goswami, I get these, Vijaya Pandit, I get these emails or chats in the morning. Okay, what book are we reading, Vishwa? And I thought to myself, gee, you know, we just finished up Beyond Birth and Death. We're reading Krishna book. And I thought, well, let's see how we go with the reading from the Prabhupada diaries. So let's go with that. And we're going to, if you can start showing the pictures again, we can talk. Here it is. This is the book. And I got my book from Brahmananda, and Gargamuni came to Hamilton here in the 90s. When they published this, they went on a tour of selling these books. Plus, I got the set of Conversations, Yashoda. I think it's 37 volumes. So I have them here. There's very few books like this. But this is a reproduction of the Jaladuta diary. Here's the Jaladuta book or photograph of the boat. Now, we know the story. We're going to read the diary, so it's going to talk about Prabhupada's efforts to get passage on the Jaladuta from Srimati Maharajji. Very interesting. And it was so that all of you have a background into Prabhupada's journey in time, how he conducted himself during these periods. Thank you. Now, if you look at the right there, you see India, there, that small little space there on the planet. And that's where Prabhupada left. So the line shows you how he traveled. And there, if you go back, I think I showed you the different spots. Let me get mine here. There it is. Can you bring that up? Let me look at mine here. Sorry. So on the 13th, he was in Calcutta. On the 17th, he was in Colombo. On the 22nd, it was Cochin. On September 2nd, Port Said, Suez Canal. And 17th, Boston, where he first arrived. And on the 19th, he finally arrived in New York. So these are the highlight dates of the trip. The route taken by the Jaladuta from Calcutta to New York, the dates indicate the places where the ship docked during the journey. And what a glorious journey. And arduous. When we read the documents, the diary, it'll reveal to us the difficulties. Very, very harrowing, I think that's the right word, where Prabhupada almost passed from this world on this journey because it was difficult. The ocean, the circumstances. And he's by himself. Think about it. He had nobody with him. We complain about loneliness. Huh? I'm all alone. I've got no one. Well, Prabhupada was totally alone. Except that Krishna was accompanying him in the boat. Here's the table of contents. Go ahead. Rupa Goswami, show the table of contents. I don't, personally, now that is the second page. I think I sent the preface and introduction. We're going to read those today so that you're ahead. Go back. Preface, introduction, India. Preparation for passage to America aboard the Jaladuta. So we're going to read that. That's a very interesting section. The journey, the Jaladuta set sail for America. America. Srila Prabhupada arrives at Boston Harbor and memorandum. Srila Prabhupada's addresses, telephone numbers, and notes. And then the next page, Rupa Goswami, please. Prayers written by Srila Prabhupada aboard the Jaladuta. And then page 75 will be India's message of peace and goodwill, Srila Prabhupada's pamphlet for the spreading of Lord Krishna's teachings. Well, early writings for us to look at, and reflections, recollections by Srila Prabhupada of his journey in America. Okay, so that's the last page. Preface. We're going to read the preface, and I wanted to qualify this. Who wrote this? I'm not sure who wrote it. So, I have a idea for us as a group. Maybe we can properly present the diaries, not with these people, most of them who are not probably involved at all in the mission anymore. So words are very important, as you know, all of us. And how this is being described by people that were or may or could have been serious about this process are being presented in these sections of this book. It requires forensic review. And we have so many qualified devotees here to look at it. But besides that, Vijaya Pandit, we're going to read through it for what it's worth. On April 1965, while approaching the Scindia Steam Navigation Company in Bombay to sponsor his passage to America, Srila Prabhupada received one of their complimentary diaries. He used it at first as an appointment book. Once his voyage to America on the Jaladuta began in August of that year, he made regular entries in the diary to record the events of the journey. Subsequently, the diary was kept in the safe of the New York Temple until 1972, when Srila Prabhupada requested Balimardan Das, the temple president, to take personal care of it. Today, it is still in the care of Balimardhan Das, and he is arranging for its permanent display and preservation. I wonder where. Excerpts from the diary were first published in 1980 in the volume 1 of the Prabhupada Lilamrita, the authorized, so-called authorized biography of Srila Prabhupada. Not true. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, Yashoda? Look, it was not authorized, but here in the preface, it says it is, because these people are misdirecting people. Portions have also appeared in some of the annual Vyas Puja books. With the approach of Srila Prabhupada's centennial in 1996, we feel it's fitting that the diary be presented in its entirety. Whoever wrote this? Srila Prabhupada once wrote in a letter about the need to meticulously preserve the writings of the previous acharyas, especially their handwriting, as follows. Preserve the writings. How about change the books? How about that? Why have you changed everything? We may take care of them by treating them against insects and storing them in tight, dry storage places where they may be preserved for future generations of the Vaishnavas to see the actual handwriting and words of such great saintly persons. I'm going to interject here. I saw this Shivaram thing, and then they put up an image on the screen, the books of Shivaram Swami. Treat this matter very seriously and thoroughly, and take all precautions to protect this wonderful boon of literatures forever. Protect them. These items are very, very priceless and are a great treasure house of Vaishnava lore, so be very careful in that matter and take all precautions to guard them. What to speak of, not change them. These people they should explain it properly. It's not just museum pieces. It's preservation of truth. Letter to Achyutananda Das dated June 12, 1972. And again in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a description of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praising Rupa Goswami's fastidious handwriting. Okay, fair enough. Anchalila 1, 96 and 97 verses. That's the handwriting. Specimens of the pure devotee are an intimate mementos of their spiritual lives, and we must therefore consider ourselves most fortunate to have the remnants of Srila Prabhupada's handwriting. Okay. The diary of the voyage of the Jaladuta is a personal account of the challenging journey that launched Srila Prabhupada's life mission. Readers will find it to be a remarkable document in the history of religious movements. It reveals the full measure of Srila Prabhupada's devotion, faith, and self-abnegation, which qualify him as one of the world's few genuine spiritual leaders. Shallow, whoever wrote this, shallow. We hope this book will inspire others to appreciate Srila Prabhupada's triumph over adversity and to follow in his footsteps. Okay, we're going to go to the introduction. We'll carry on. Let's keep going. Go ahead. Srila Prabhupada, here we go again. Srila Prabhupada was instructed by his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to preach Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking peoples. Towards this end, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami published the first Back to Godhead magazine in 1944. He also began to write translations and commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and other Vedic literatures. In 1965, after publishing 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, he approached the owner of the Scindia steam navigation company, Sumati Marajdi, for a complimentary passage to the United States. After considering his request for some time, she finally agreed and issued him the ticket. So that'll be revealed in the diaries, okay? In the port of Calcutta on August 13th, 1965, carrying only a small suitcase and an umbrella and a bag of dry cereal, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, as he was known at the time, climbed up the steep gangway onto a cargo ship named the Jaladuta. The ensuing journey presented considerable hardship. Srila Prabhupada wrote of some seasickness, and on the 13th day of the journey of the voyage, during the passage through the Arabian Sea, he suffered a massive heart attack. He was concerned that he might pass away, but in his uneasy sleep that night, he had a dream, a vision. Lord Krishna appeared. The Lord was in an open boat along with other incarnations. Krishna was rowing the boat, and the boat was pulling Srila Prabhupada's ship with a rope. Krishna was smiling at Srila Prabhupada and was pulling the ship all the way to America. Srila Prabhupada did not write about this occurrence in his diary, but simply drew a line through those troubled days, declaring that he had passed over a great crisis in the struggle between life and death. Years later, he related these events to his followers. In the crisis, Srila Prabhupada regained his strength and recommended his entries in the diary after the ship docked. Recommenced his entries in the diary after the ship docked in Port Said, Egypt. Then, after crossing the Mediterranean Sea, the Jaladuta passed through the Straits of Gibraltar into the Atlantic Ocean. Uncharacteristically, the ocean appeared like a placid lake. The Atlantic crossing was so effortless that the ship's captain remarked that he had never seen anything like it. And after a total of 35 days, the ship at last berthed in Boston at the Commonwealth Pier on September 17th at 5:30 a.m. The next day, the Jaladuta continued to New York, where Srila Prabhupada disembarked into a lonely Brooklyn pier to begin his mission in the West. In our presentation of the Jaladuta diaries, we have also included photographs of noteworthy memorabilia, Srila Prabhupada's passport and visa, and we'll show those. The ticket issued by Scindia Steam Navigation Company, the sponsorship form of Gopal Agarwal, and their handwritten copies of the 2 poems that Srila Prabhupada wrote upon arriving in America. So lots to look forward here, everyone. Prayers to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna in Markani Bhagavad Dharma, some of the Prabhupada's descriptions of the Jaladuta diary from his conversations and letters are also reproduced here. They have appeared in previous archival publications and may be found in entirety in the computer database of Srila Prabhupada's complete works. Here we go. We offer many thanks to Balimar Dun Das, Sundar Raksha, Rakara Das, Maya Priya Devi Dasi, Janava Devi Dasi, who did the color illustrations, and to many other devotees whose efforts have made this publication a reality. There is a sequel to this diary in New York in January 1966. Srila Prabhupada began recording another diary, which spans the period between January to October of that year. Here it is here. The beginning. There were only 3,000 copies of this made, by the way, everyone. This diary is not well known to devotees as the Jaladuta diary, but it covers the time when Srila Prabhupada was a guest at Dr. R. Mishra up until the International Society of Krishna Consciousness was incorporated, and the first Back to Godhead magazine was published by Srila Prabhupada's early Western followers. We also intend to present this second diary as an offering for the Srila Prabhupada centennial. Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya of our time. His voyage on the Jaladuta 30 years ago marked the beginning of a spiritual revival, and the 12 years after his arrival in America saw the Hare Krishna movement spread to major cities worldwide. For millennia, the Vedic tradition has been hidden behind the boundaries of India and within Sanskrit and the vernacular languages. To a world immersed in a materialistic ethos, Srila Prabhupada revealed the wisdom of this timeless philosophy, the Bhaktivedanta Archives explanation. India, preparation for passage to America aboard the Jaladuta. That's the next page. And again, we're seeing the map. I think I sent that. The problem is, Prabhus, that the online presentation is different than the actual book that they published. So there's not a consistency in it. Anyway, we're going to read through it. We're going to read through it over the next 2 months or so all of you can enjoy hearing about Prabhupada's journey in fulfilling the order of his spiritual master and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as best as we can. It's all we can do, is try our best. And we're going to go forward with our next section of the program, which is a Prabhupada lecture. So let's go to that.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam.
Say that from the Vedas we know that Krishna is unlimited, especially when he was performing his Ras Leela with the gopis. So, but if Krishna is unlimited, why did he not manifest himself all over the world, like all living entities without equal chances to go back home? Why did he not manifest himself all over the world so that all living entities could have equal chance?
Yes, he manifested all over the world, but you have no eyes to see him. That is your defect. Krishna is present everywhere, but just like sun is present in the sky. Why don't you see now? Answer this. Do you think the sun is not in the sky? Do you think the sun is not there? So go on the roof and see the sun. Why you prove yourself a rascal? That, no, there is no sun. Will it be accepted by learned men? Because you cannot see the sun, there is no sun. Will it be accepted by any learned scholar? At night you cannot see the sun. So if you say to any learned man, any who knows things, no, there is no sun. So will you accept that? He will say the sun is there, you rascal, you cannot see. That's all. You just get out of your rascaldom, then you'll see. Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavritam, Krishna says. He is not exposed to the rascals. But one who knows he is seen premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokaya jang shama sundaram achinta guna. The devotee is always Sri Krishna. For him, he is always present. And for the rascals, he cannot be seen. That is the difference. So you have to become non-rascal, then you will see. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddhese vajjana tishthati. In everyone's core of the heart, Krishna is present. But do you know that, can you see? Can you talk with him? He is within your heart. He is present. But he talks. With whom? Tesam satadayuktanang bhajatang priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam. He talks with the devotee who is 24 hours engaged in his service. These are stated in Bhagavad Gita. Don't you read Bhagavad Gita? So everything requires qualification. So this Krishna consciousness movement means you are trying to make the people qualified to see Krishna. Without being qualified, how can you see? That requires qualification.
Prabhupada's saying that for a person that's 24 hours engaged in Krishna's service, Krishna talks to him. You have to be qualified to associate with Krishna, with the pure devotee and his and Prabhupada's disciples. You have to be qualified. We put that up in our program on our invitations, the qualifications. So people can review that. We're going to move forward with our next section of the program, which is the Bhagavad Gita reading and discussion with Yashodananda and Prabhu. First, we're going to play the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava, the bhajan Prabhupada used before every class. So chant along and we'll move forward through this 2 hours of nectar Prabhupada Vani Association production. All glories to the Sankirtan movement.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari.
सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskritya. Narayanam namaskritya. Naram cheva narottamam. Naram cheva narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Mudirayat. Tato Jayam Mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead Narayana, 2, to the Narayana Rishi, who is, hold on, To the Nara Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being. 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, from Srimad Bhagavatam 1-4. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This particular program is being conducted on the basis of the original 1972 Bhagavad Gita as it is, Macmillan edition, the non-changed, non-edited, non-adulterated version, and all synonyms, translations, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. As we do every week, we will be reciting a few Sanskrit verses that were introduced directly and personally by Srila Prabhupada himself in early 1966 in New York, when he started his lecture series on the Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayamarupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Ragunatan Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaguna Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatan Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar, Srivas, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates, Sri Lalita and Vishaka. E Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Oh, my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion. for the fallen souls. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll proceed with a specific verse for today. We are reading from chapter 14, text number 8. Tamastvajnana viddi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalaya sivnidrabis tannibadnati bharata tamaha. Mode of ignorance, to but ajnanajam, products of ignorance, viddi, knowing, mohanam, delusion, sarvadehinam, of all embodied beings, pramada, madness, alasya, indolence, nidrabihi, sleep, tat, that, nibadnati, binds, bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O son of Bharata, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport by His Divine Grace. In this verse, the specific application of the word to is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. This mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand the thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died, and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they're not very much interested. They're not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of what embedded in mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient. But a man in a mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati jarajaha karmani bharata jnanam avritya tutamaha pramade sanjayati uta. Sattvam, mode of goodness, sukhe, in happiness, sanjayati, develops, rajaha, mode of passion, karmani, fruits of activities, bharata, O son of Bharata, jnanam, knowledge, avritya, covering, to but, tamaha, the mode of ignorance, pramade, in madness, sanjayati, develops, uta, it is said. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions him to the fruits of action, and ignorance to madness. Purport. A person in the mode of goodness is satisfied by his work or intellectual pursuit, just as a philosopher, scientist, or educator may be engaged in a particular field of knowledge and may be satisfied in that way. A man in the modes of passion and goodness may be engaged in fruitive activity. He owns as much as he can and spends for good causes. Sometimes he tries to open hospitals, give to charity institutions, etc. These are the signs of one in the mode of passion. And the mode of ignorance covers knowledge. In the mode of ignorance, whatever one does is neither good for him nor for anyone. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Bhagavad Vandana Kadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sarkara Yuktam Kadate Visheshatah Adadana Strinam Danteridam Yache Punah Punah Srimadru Papadam Bhoja Dhulishyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatosmyam Sadadaso Asmi Sarvata Tat Kripa Pikshako Nityam Tat Prista Satakaromi Swam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The whole scheme of Vedic teaching and Vedic civilization is to somehow engage people in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord, bhakti. And this process is explained by all the great acharyas. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned many times in his writings that one should not waste his time in this material world trying to make better material arrangements, because this is all temporary. Prabhupada compares this that if you have a room and you are being evicted, you are renting temporarily, you will not spend a whole lot of time trying to redecorate the room and rearrange the room. No. You will make arrangement for the next place. So this is the problem with the material world. Not only is it temporary, but Krishna himself has given his verdict. It is also dukkhalayam. It is full of misery, and it is not a permanent place. But yet we see by practical observation that so many people are making arrangements to try to stay here forever. But where is the effort? Where is the intelligent questioning? What will happen at the time of death? What will be the next destination? Now, there are different religious denominations, philosophical groups, and different people who have tried to explain these things in various ways for millennia, for thousands of years. But the Bhagavad Gita gives very positive, very clear conclusion that there is another world. Natat basayate suryo, nasasanko napavakaha. That there's another world which does not depend upon anything, no illumination, no electricity, no sun, no moon. It is permanent, full of bliss, full of knowledge, full of transcendental happiness, where one does not have to suffer. Sometimes we see that the atheistic class of men try to put forward arguments Well, why is there so much suffering in the world if there is a God? That is like asking somebody in the prison, well, why am I being restricted here in the prison? Why do I do not have full freedom like the citizens outside the prison? Well, that's what the prison is, to restrict your freedom. Restrict your freedom on account of your breach of the law, disobedience of the law. Therefore, you have to find out what is the best situation. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita in so many ways, Yadgatva nanivartante tadama paramam mama, that if you return to my abode, you don't have to come back and suffer here. Even in this life, if one practices devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide authorized acharya like Srila Prabhupada. Oh, thank you. Let's read Prabhupada's actual translation of this text from the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada explains, translating Krishna's statement, that abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. Now, for those of you who are familiar, this is very similar to the text in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text number 9. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvataha tyaktva deham punara janma naiti mam iti so Arjuna. Krishna explains, for one who knows the transcendental nature of my activities, divyam, Janma karma chame divyam. Divyam means transcendental. He doesn't have to come back here. But some people are addicted to the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. It is very difficult for them to comprehend why they should make efforts to change their lives, change their habits, purify their existence, and be situated in the mode of goodness. And that starts with hearing. In the Vedanta Sutra, one of the sutras is Anavritihi Shabdat. One becomes liberated by hearing. Every Sunday morning, we have our Srimad Bhagavatam reading and discussion. And as part of this program, Vishwakarma Prabhu introduced the reading of a few selected verses from the Bhagavatam itself, from Canto 1, Chapter 2, where the authors of the Bhagavatam have explained what is the benefit of hearing this great transcendental literature. Nashta prayesha babadrishu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. How do we acquire this bhakti, this devotional service to Krishna? First of all, you can't acquire it, really. It has to be received. It has to be obtained from one who possesses it, a Shuddha Bhakta, or completely pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada. And that is acquired by the hearing process. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport. And there is one verse, Brahmante Brahmite Konyo Bhagyavanji, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. That one obtains the seed of bhakti by the mercy of the Guru and the mercy of Krishna, by both. But in this world, we can't just do it by our own efforts, because bhakti is beyond the influence of the modes of passion and mode of ignorance. As a matter of fact, when we carefully study in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there's different descriptions of different bhaktas or devotees or prospective devotees in the path of bhakti. And there's definition of pure bhakti, bhakti in a mode of goodness, bhakti in a mode of passion, and bhakti in a mode of ignorance. A devotee, if he wants to progress nicely, has to raise himself to the stage of the mode of goodness. And that starts with eating and what we vibrate. That means that we have to purify our senses by the tongue. Sevan Mukehi Jivado Swayameva Spuratiadaha. Krishna can reveal himself to whomever he wants. But that begins, according to the Padma Purana, Prabhupada used to quote that verse, Atasri Krishna Namadi, that the name of Krishna, the activities of Krishna, the incarnations of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, everything related to Krishna, Nama Adi, the name, etc., everything, cannot be revealed to our materialistic senses. One has to become purified. Sevan Mukehi, that begins by service. Thank you, Rupa Goswami Prabhu. We'll read directly from Prabhupada himself. The Vedas state, Atasri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grayamindriyahi, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 17:136. The transcendental names, forms, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of the Lord cannot be understood by our blunt material senses. Sevan Mukehi Jivado Swayameva Spuratyadaha. When a devotee engages his sense favorably in devotional service, the Lord, through his causeless mercy, reveals himself to the devotee. This is the conclusive Vedic process. The Vedas also indicate that simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, one can, without a doubt, become spiritually advanced. We cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the speed of mind or words. But if we stick to devotional service, we can easily and quickly approach him. In other words, the Supreme Lord is attracted by devotional service, and he can approach us more swiftly than we can approach him with our mental speculation. The Lord has stated that he is beyond the range of mental speculation and the speed of thought, yet he can be approached easily by his causeless mercy. Thus, only by his causeless mercy can he be attained. Other methods will not be effective. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. If one offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, some water, with simply some love and devotion, in that way one can attain Krishna. This has been shown by Srila Prabhupada through his teachings and his practical application of the process of bhakti. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhupada demonstrated pure devotional service in all its glory for everyone to learn and be a part of. And this is his causeless mercy on us. At least there's one source, Vijaya Pandit, that we can refer to in this world, and that's him. Because it is difficult to have access to the spiritual world because it's a descending process of knowledge. It's transferred through the transparent via media, excuse me, of a pure devotee only. And so many people are projecting themselves as being this or that, but they're not. And this is misleading people, and it's very unfortunate. So we're going to move forward with our next section of the program, which is a booklet that was presented by some of our God brothers called Our Living Guru, which will give us more insight into how to qualify someone to present the truth without adulteration. And we'll go to that. Yashodanandana Prabhu, please. Our Living Guru.
Well, thank you very much. A few devotees have asked me, why do people keep reading some of these points, which are things that happened many years ago? And the answer is pretty simple. In order to advance spiritually, one cannot have false idea or deviated ideologies in the consciousness. So it's very important that we hear exactly how Srila Prabhupada explains the position of pure devotee acharyas and bona fide acharyas in a disciplic succession. That is the whole purpose of this booklet, Our Living Guru. Chapter 5, Lord Krishna's successors contaminated. 5.1, in Prabhupada's Guru succession, the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, do we find any examples of anyone with material contamination? Answer, absolutely not. Many would-be gurus, especially within the Living Guru project, emphatically claim otherwise, possibly to downplay their own mistakes, illusions, cheating, and various material contaminations. For instances, after incidents of drug taking and homosexuality, the post-1977 Guru Project claim in their August 1980 GBC report, there are examples in the Srimad Bhagavatam of great devotees having difficulties. Lord Brahma was affected by sex attraction for his daughter. This offensive attack on the parampara is a continued theme. The notion that Krishna's pure Guru successors are subject to contamination as expanded in the Living Guru project. For example, a Living Guru based in Eastern India lectured in January 1990 that sometimes for a few minutes, Krishna's great successor gurus, such as Lord Brahma, become bewildered by Mahamaya, mundane illusion. Who is that rascal? In a morning walk conversation recorded on 10th of December 1975 in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada turns his disclaim on its head. Disciple, I was recently told by one devotee that the Acharya doesn't have to be a pure devotee. Prabhupada, what? Disciple, that the Acharya does not have to be a pure devotee. Prabhupada, who is that rascal? Who said? Who is that rascal? The Acharya doesn't have to be a pure devotee. Disciple, Nitai said it. He said that Lord Brahma is the Acharya in the Brahma Sampradaya, and yet he is sometimes afflicted by passion. So therefore he is saying that it appears that the Acharya doesn't have to be a pure devotee. Prabhupada, he manufactured his idea. Therefore he is a rascal. Therefore he is a rascal. Nitai has become an authority? Disciple, no, actually, he said that he taught. Prabhupada, he taught something rascaldom, and he's expressing that. Therefore, he's more rascal. These things are going on. As soon as he reads some books, he becomes Acharya, whatever rascal he may be. These things are to be seen in this way, that such an exalted person, he sometimes becomes passionate. So how much we shall be careful. That is the instruction. It is not that the Acharya has become passionate. Therefore, I shall become passionate. I am a strict follower of the Acharya, these rascals say. The rascal devotee mentioned above, who maintained that the parampara could be contaminated, was later banned entirely from ISKCON by Srila Prabhupada himself. This extreme action by Prabhupada was so rare, few devotees recall any other similar banishment. Clearly, Srila Prabhupada saw the contaminated succession idea as extremely dangerous and insidious. Yet, this idea now forms one of the primary pillars of the Living Guru Project's philosophy. In a letter dated 13th of February 1968, Srila Prabhupada lists Krishna's Sampradaya, his 100% uncontaminated Guru successors. Quote, my Guru Maharaj was in the 10th generation from Lord Chaitanya. We are 11 from Lord Chaitanya. The disciplic succession is as follows. 1, Sri Krishna. 2, Brahma. 3, Narada. 4, Vyasa. 5, Madhva. 19th, Madhavendra Puri. 20th, Ishwara Puri. 21st, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 22, Swarup Sanatan Rupa. 23, Jiva Raghunath. 24, Krishna Dasa. 25th, Narottama. 26, Vishwanatha. 27, Baladev Jagannath. 28, Bhaktivinoda Gaur Kishore. 29, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. 30th, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta. This speaks for itself, and it should be noted that these false ideas have never been purged out from the theology of the self-appointed Guru Project, the LGEP, the Living Guru Experimental Project. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio.
Think about it like this, Prabhus. Some of you are medical professionals in this group. If you get a serious disease, Vijaya Pandit, and you have to get treatment, do you want to go to a third-class surgeon? Do you? No. In fact, everyone will talk about their doctor. Oh, my doctor, he's a first-class surgeon. Of course you want a first-class surgeon because there's some hope of survival when he operates on you. You know, when I had cancer as well, I had a and Yashoda's had cancer as well. You go to the best surgeon you can find. So, in spiritual life, do you want to go to a third-class guru, so-called guru? Is he going to save you? No. These things do not work that way. And Prabhupada was emphatic here in saying the position of the bona fide spiritual master is that he is an acharya, one who teaches by example. And that kind of guru business that's evolved in the current situation we're in, 2025, there are so many hypocrites. It's disgusting. You want to pretend you're a guru? You want to preach to other people who are becoming your followers? And you want to mislead them and take their money? That's what's going on. And it's billions of dollars. It's not some kind of small crime. It's a big crime. Look at how many people in Italy there are, where you are. How many people there understand the facts of the matter? How many? Hardly anybody. You go zero. Is this serious? Yes, it is, and it's very unfortunate. To be misled. It's a very unfortunate thing. But it's everywhere. We know that. That's the Kali Yuga. Everything is filled with hypocrisy, with lies, with cheating, misinformation, and deception. And we've been talking about it. And it's a pleasure to have all of you with us, enjoying the pastimes of Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation. We're going to move to the next section of our program, which is another lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So Rupa Goswami, please, if you could roll that.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam.
To pursue Vedic knowledge means to understand Krishna. That if you do not understand Krishna, and if you speak as like so many nonsense things, and if you pose yourself as Pandit, that is srama eva hi kevalam. That is stated. Srama eva hi. Simply wasting time and laboring for nothing. Vasudevi Bhagavati Dharmasthana sthita pungsa Vishwaksena kathasu jat Notpadaya rating jadi Srama eva hi kevalam. Now, Dharma, everyone is executing his particular occupational duty. Very nice. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I am speaking the organized society, not this animal society as is present. In organized society, a Brahman is discharging his duties just like a Brahmana, Sattva Samadama Titikha Arjava Jnanam Vijnanam Astikam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. Still, Dhammasthanaśthita, he is very nicely executing his duty as a Brahman. But by executing such duties, if he does not develop Krishna consciousness, then samayeva ikeva. This is the body. Then he has wasted time. Because to become Brahmana, perfect Brahmana, means to know Brahma, athata Brahma jigyasa. And the Parabrahma, Supreme Brahma is Krishna. So if he does not understand Krishna, then what is the use of his executing this Brahmana's duty? That is the body of this heart. Samayeva ikevala. Simply wasting time. Therefore, one has to learn this science from the parampara system. Emam parampara. You have to go to the right person who knows Krishna. Emam parampara. Just like Sudra, the Vibhushan, he was instructed by Krishna. So if you take instruction from Vibhushan, from the sun god, then you get the perfect knowledge. But you cannot go to the sun planet and ask Vibhushan, what Krishna spoke to you? Therefore Vibhushan transferred the knowledge to his son, Manu. This age is called Vaivasvata Manu. This age. Now, Vibhushan, because he is the son of Vibhushan, therefore this Manu is called Vaivasvata Manu. Vaivasvata Manu. Now the age is going of Vaivasvata Manu. Manu ikha abravit. So Manu also spoke to his son. So, in this way, evam parampara praptam, he is giving some examples, but the knowledge has to be received by the parampara. But somehow or other, the parampara being lost, just like I have spoken something to my disciple, he says the same thing to his disciple, he says the same thing to his disciple, but somehow or other, if it is distorted at a certain point, then the knowledge is lost. As soon as any of the disciples in the succession distort the knowledge, then it is lost. That is being explained. Sakalena mohata. The time is very powerful. It changes. That is the time means it changes, kills the original position. You have got experience. You purchase anything, it is very fresh, new, but time will kill it. It will become savvy, it will be useless at time, in due course of time. So time is fighting. This material time, it is called kala. Kala means death, or kala means the black snake. The black snake destroys. As soon as it touches anything, it is destroyed. Similarly, kala, this kala is also another form of Krishna. So kalena, mohata, that's why it is called mohata. It is very powerful. It is not ordinary thing, mohata. His business is to destroy. Sakalena niya, nasta. So by due course of time, because how the kala can destroy? As soon as kala sees that you are distorting, then it will be lost. So don't try to understand Bhagavad Gita from persons who are under the influence of kala, past, present, future. Don't try to understand Bhagavad Gita from so-called rascal philosophers, commentators, and they will write Bhagavad Gita in a distorted way. Somebody will say there was no Krishna, there was no Mahabharata. Somebody says Krishna stressed on this point, Krishna stressed on that point. Somebody will say Krishna stressed on karma, karma kanda. Somebody will say on jnana. Somebody will say yoga. There are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita. Yogic artha, জ্ঞান অর্থ গীতা জ্ঞান অর্থ so the real Gita Jnana is spoken by the Supreme Person. We have to accept that. That is Gita Jnana.
Did you hear that carefully? What Prabhupada was talking about? The importance of parampara and not changing anything? Someone could say, well, why do you bring that up? Did we bring it up? No. Prabhupada is educating us. Is this an important principle? It's the whole thing. The whole philosophy is based on the transmission of truth from one qualified guru to another. How is it that 175 people have now become bona fide acharyas? It's complete, utter hypocrisy. It's not real. And somehow or other, thousands of people are being misled by these scoundrels in pink robes. Maybe white too, I don't know, depends. Black snakes. We're not saying that Prabhupada is telling us. The bona fide information that you want to hear is coming from Srila Prabhupada, not from us. All we're doing is repeating and understanding it, and then practicing Krishna consciousness without any personal motivation. You go into the guru business, it is a very dangerous business to be in because you become affected by followers, right, Vijaya Pandit? You get people that worship you. Is that a good thing? Nilesh, are you here? You get people that give you money, and you get bank accounts with millions of dollars in your control. That's real. Is that our blasphemy, or is that our understanding of what's really going on? It's a tragedy, and we're, all of us here, all of our group, we're presenting the truth without compromise. No compromise. So carry on with your devotional service, everyone. And we thank you for your participation in the propagation of truth despite the propaganda. There's the difference between propagation and propaganda is very significant. Propaganda is mistruth. And that's what's going on in the ISKCON group. Every one of them. It's pathetic. And we'll leave it at that. We're going to go ahead with our next section, which is Rupa Goswami. The next section is the 10 offenses, isn't it?
Yes, 10 offenses.
Okay. So let's hear that.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, If someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8th, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Haribol. Before we move forward with the chanting of the japa, I wanted to mention again, propagation or propaganda? The books of Srila Prabhupada or the books from Steve Shivaram from Montreal? Take your choice. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let's do the chanting round. Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur
6 heures.
Hare Krishna Hare
Ouais,
Krishna
ouais, le
Krishna
temps
Krishna
d'attendre
Hare Hare
que
Hare
le
Ram
infirmier
Ram Ram
passe, que
Hare
le
Hare
médecin
Hare
signe, et puis
Krishna
après,
Hare Krishna
il y a
Krishna
encore
Krishna Hare
le temps que
Hare Hare
l'infirmière me
Ram
donne un
Hare
paracétamol
Ram
pour la
Ram
nuit.
Hare Hare
Et puis,
Hare Krishna
voilà.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Oui,
Krishna
avec
Hare
Steve.
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
C'était
Krishna
long
Krishna
cette
Hare
semaine,
Hare
c'était
Hare
long.
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Cortana, c'est
Hare
plus que c'était
Hare
long.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hein?
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Oui,
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare
C'est
Ram
cool, tu te
Ram
mets une
Ram Hare Hare
vidéo, tu
Hare
lâches.
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Non,
Ram
mais
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
là,
Krishna
j'étais
Krishna
pas dans le
Hare
flux.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Je
Ram
dis
Hare
non,
Hare
non.
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Ram
Transporteur,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
une
Krishna
demi-heure.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
1
Hare Hare
kilomètre.
Krishna
J'allais
Hare
lui dire,
Hare,
tu vois.
Ram
C'est
Ram,
des trucs
Hare
méchants, quoi.
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
C'est
Hare
un peu plus
Ram
dur.
Hare Ram Ram
Non,
Ram
après,
Hare
après, il
Hare
faut aller dans
Hare
les...
Krishna Hare
Non,
Krishna
après.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Oh,
Ram,
tu
Hare
vois, ils ont
Hare
des
Ram
instruments
Hare
pour
Ram
rythme,
Ram
comme ça.
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Bon, comme
Hare
en Italie, c'est
Hare
des
Ram Hare
Africains, ils
Ram
font ça.
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Oh, ils
Krishna
font leur
Krishna
boulot
Hare
là,
Hare
c'est bon.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Cette semaine,
Ram Hare
vraiment,
Hare
des moments de
Hare
colère.
Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Parce que tu attends pas là pour
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
ah,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
là, j'ai pas
Rama
encore
Hare
vraiment
Rama,
fait.
Rama Hare Hare, Krishna
Là, il est à midi, je vais arriver dans la chambre pour l'avoir à
Rama,
midi.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Rama Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Yeah,
Krishna
so
Hare
Krishna,
that
Ram,
saddle right
Hare
there,
Ram,
Rama
where
Hare
it comes
Rama,
down
Rama
to the
Hare
saddle,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
the
Hare
left,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
the
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
called
Hare
again,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
trail.
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
So
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Krishna
over that
Krishna,
saddle,
Hare
you go in the
Ram,
back of the
Hare
hill,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
and it
Krishna
turns
Rama
left,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
all the way
Hare
to
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Sunrise
Krishna,
Highway,
Hare
Hare
10
Krishna,
Rama,
miles.
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Yeah,
Krishna
go to
Hare
the
Ram,
and back.
Hare
That's
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
mile or
Hare
whatever.
Krishna,
Yeah.
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Here's the
Ram,
saddle.
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
So you
Krishna,
take a
Krishna
left,
Hare,
and
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
it'll
Hare
be
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
out
Krishna,
before
Hare
you
Rama
get
Hare
out of
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
a
Hare
grove
Ram,
there.
Hare
You don't
Ram,
Krishna
get past it for like
Ram,
3
Hare
miles.
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
It's
Hare
Hare
Rama,
rough.
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Up
Krishna Krishna
down and back.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Ram
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Krishna,
Rama 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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Rama Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances. We all offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and we are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Thanks everybody for participating in this program. We will go back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we wanted to remind you that upcoming is our next Saturday will be our celebration to Srila Prabhupada's memories from our different godbrothers and sisters who will be speaking at this program. It's a special program that we've designed. And another part of our effort to create interest in spiritual life with our membership, because very few people are actually really serious about practicing bhakti yoga. They do it as a part-time type of occupation. That's okay, because we have all kinds of material responsibilities that we have to deal with on a weekly basis. But the part of our program is to inspire people to take up the mission. And I wanted to say that I spoke to a devotee yesterday, Yashoda, and he's been chanting his rounds since 2017. He told me, I haven't missed one day since 2017. And I said to him, well, have you ever considered initiation? He goes, I want to be a Prabhupada disciple. Well, go ahead and move forward. You initiate yourself. But we are interested in helping you to take that responsibility up. So if you have anybody that's interested in initiation and making a more serious effort to liberate yourself from the repeated cycles of birth and death, then we'll try to facilitate you becoming a Prabhupada disciple according to his system, not some concoction. So thank you, everyone, for your participation. We'll see you tomorrow for the Bhagavatam reading from the Delhi Bhagavatams if you don't have a set. And by the way, Yashodanandana, I wanted to mention to everybody, if somehow or other you didn't receive a set, it was probably because we don't have your address. If you have a problem, send us a request to send you your Delhi Bhagavatams, but include your address so we can do it. Sometimes people call us, well, where's my books? Well, we don't have your address, sorry. So that's part of it. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and the Sankirtan movement. We're going to move ahead with what's next on the program, Rupa Goswami. Are you there?
Yes, so we have end credits.
What is it?
Closing credits.
Okay, we're going to do the closing credits and then whatever else he puts up. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful day of chanting and hearing. Haribol. I'm listening. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare